And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way. And yes, Alex is back. You hear my voice, all beautiful and pretty. But yes, unfortunately, we're another three-man crew, just a different three-man crew. Myself, Ray, and Uncle Doug are here tonight. Drew ditched us last second, and Wade decided to come back this week, and then ditched us last day of, at least. But Wade assures me he should be back next week, so be looking for that, and we'll see how it goes. But today we're here to talk about those pesky Minnesota Vikings, another Drew's division.
Skulls.
And so we'll be talking about the Vikings 7-on-7s. So let's get started. Uncle Doug, who is your Vikings quarterback?
My Vikings quarterback is Fran Tarkenton.
He is also mine.
He is not mine.
I'll say I know he's old school, but he was a great passer, but he also scrambled. He could move around, buy time, run if he needed to. Career 57% passer, 47,000 yards, 342 TDs. Split his career between the Vikings and the Giants. He went to started at Minnesota for about 6 years. Then he spent 5 years with the Vikings, or with the Giants, and then he came back to the Vikings to finish his career. One-time All-Pro, 9 Pro Bowls. He was the 1975 MVP. Let's see here.
He's got 9 Pro Bowls.
Yeah. Well, my phone just lost its mind.
Uh-oh.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to find his stats for the 75 season.
Oh, I got you here.
There it is.
He completed 64% of his passes for 2,994 yards, 25 TDs, 13 picks. And the Vikings went 12-2.
Anyway, I thought he'd be pretty good at 7-on-7 just for the fact that he can scramble. And
yeah, no, I had similar thoughts, to be honest with you, when I thought about the Vikings quarterback situation. A few guys came to my mind, but Tarkenton was the only one that was really like legit for a while, not just a flash in the pan or a nobody. So that's where I went. Ray, you got another quarterback for us here, sir?
I do.
Who you got?
Since I really didn't know Fran Tarkenton, I went Dante Culpepper.
There you go, old Culpepper.
yeah.
He was there for 7. Completion percentage of 64. 135 TDs, 20,000 yards, and 86 interceptions. So, thought it was a legit stat line with his 3 Pro Bowls. But recency bias brings me back again. So, yeah, Mr. Dante.
No, Culpepper was that guy that was throwing the ball to Moss and Carter for a few years.
Right,
And
yeah.
it was the early 2000s.
Who we'll be talking about shortly, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
And didn't Warren Moon played up there for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, Warren Moon was there for a little while. Randall Cunningham was there for a little while.
Yeah.
Brett Favre was there for a year or
year.
two.
Yeah, the Vikings have kind of bounced around with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And you got guys like Teddy Bridgewater and Christian Ponder and
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford.
Oh, and
Yeah. Well,
Kirk
way
Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
back when they were going to Super Bowls. Tarkenton might have been there for one, but I remember, I think the first Super Bowl they went to, Joe Kapp was their quarterback. And he was basically a fullback playing quarterback.
Oh.
He was a real stocky guy that just plowed people over.
So he's Tim Tebow.
Yeah,
Kinda,
for real.
Yeah. He was an interesting guy.
All right. Well, seems like we've got a couple quarterbacks to choose from. So, guess we're back around to me. And
Yeah.
I don't have a quarterback because mine's already up there. So I'm moving on from that position. And I'm going to say none other than Randy Moss.
I did as well.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Randy Moss is one of the all-time great receivers. He, you may think of him as a Patriot or a Raider. Probably not a Raider,
No.
but Randy Moss made his biggest splash with the Vikings, at least as far as I'm concerned. And he's a Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. Well, he's a 4-time first-team All-Pro, at least. He won Rookie of the Year. He led the league in touchdowns 5 times. And in his 8 years in Minnesota, he had 9,300 receiving yards on 16 yards a catch, 90 and 92 touchdowns. So, I'd say 92 touchdowns in 8 years is pretty legit.
Yeah, for real. Oh, what's going on with his health status? I never did look that up.
Is something wrong with him?
Yeah, he took a step away from the football show he was on or whatever.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It's kind of blown up the last day or so because he just said he had personal, internal issue, whatever, was stepping away from his show. Well, then Larry Fitzgerald, I don't know if it's the receiver or whether it's his dad, somebody came out and said that he has liver cancer.
Oh.
Well, then today, somebody else came out and said, you all need to be quiet, not run your mouth. That ain't right. And I don't know whether they're just trying to keep his privacy or whether it's really. So the whole thing has gotten.
Oh, I guess I just missed this. I don't know.
Drew told me last night about the liver cancer comment. And then I heard the other comment today about people saying, no, Randy wants privacy and, it may not be right. And so I don't want to be spreading false rumors.
Right.
I don't know. It's not good.
Well, I'll just say this. I mean, I hope everything works out for Randy.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't I always thought he was a great football player, but I wasn't a huge fan of his antics while he was a football player. But he seems to have chilled out.
Yeah.
I like him on Sundays.
I do too.
I think
like
he does a
him as
good
an
job.
You
announcer,
got mossed.
commentator.
Yeah.
You got mossed.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So.
And, so definitely we wish our best to Randy and hope it's not cancer, hope it's something else, and that it all works out.
For real. Yep.
All right. Well, was Randy unanimous?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Sweet.
Randy's in.
All right, Uncle Doug, you got another player for us?
I do. Chris Carter.
Yes.
There we go.
I also have him.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
like Chris a lot.
That's a trifecta.
I mean, there's a case to be made that Chris Carter might be the greatest possession receiver of all time.
Yeah.
He wasn't super explosive, but sure hands.
Yep. Very sure hands. 16-year career. 1 year at the end with Miami, 3 years to start his career in Philly. And then the main part of his career, the 12 in the middle, was with Minnesota. And during those years, he had, let's see, looks like 1,000 receptions, 12,383 yards, 12 yards per catch, 110 touchdowns. Looks like his longest touchdown did hit 78 yards. So he wasn't super explosive, but he could get a little bit there when he needed to. It's like about 8 Pro Bowls, a couple All-Pros, at least first teamers. So yeah, there for a while, like you said, Chris Carter was the possession receiver, best one around. He also has a Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So despite a little bit of a rough start in the league, he turned himself around and
A very rough start in the league.
became not only a great player but a good citizen too. So definitely props to Chris Carter for straightening himself out and becoming such a great player. and person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was having himself a nice career on television. He started. He was opposite Nick Wright for a while on was it First Things First or whatever it's called, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, because I thought he was on a different show than what you were talking about too, and I can't remember what that one was.
Yeah, he used. Yeah, I mean he was doing well, and then he was just gone. Like it was like literally like on Wednesday he hosted the show, and then Thursday he was gone, and we've never seen him again.
Huh.
Wow.
His wife must have told him, "Hey, you gotta relax, buddy, or I'm divorcing you."
They down the law.
Yeah.
All right, well Ray, you got another player for us here, sir?
Yep. We got 2 receivers left, and I got 2 running backs. So, I guess we'll start with the receiver first, and recency bias. Justin Jefferson.
I also have Justin
I
Jefferson.
also have Justin Jefferson, and I know Drew does. Drew loves Justin Jefferson.
Well, I will say this: I know it's not their whole team, but as far as threesomes go, and with receivers, this is a pretty fearsome threesome right here.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to step on a field against these guys, but
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find enough cornerbacks to cover these guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so this guy has been on the Vikings for 5 years. Started 70 out of 73. Targeted 683. His reception total is 467. 7,069 yards. 15.1 yards a catch. 37 touchdowns for 5 freaking years on the team. That's crazy.
I mean, you're talking about like you said, he's young. He's still very young. He's only been in the league 5 years, and he's already doing some very impressive things.
Yeah. With different quarterbacks, especially one we thought wasn't going to make it, probably another year in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about he's catching passes over his career from Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins. He's not exactly Brady and Manning and Breeze here.
Yeah. So, I mean, showing up, showing out, doesn't matter who's behind the center. That dude just catching everything.
As of right now, he's the all-time leader in yards a game. So yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's back around to me. I will sneak a running back in here real quick. None other than Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
I don't have him, but I did consider him.
Well, I will say this. I struggled with this one quite a bit because Adrian Peterson is such a good running back. I mean, just as far as talent goes and running the ball, unquestioned the best in franchise history.
Yeah.
But Adrian Peterson can't catch. He got cinder blocks for hands.
That's probably why I didn't include him.
So I really struggled with it, but then I just ended up saying, you know what, forget it. I'll put him on there. Somebody can talk me out of it. But he's a 7-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler. He has an MVP. He also has a Rookie of the Year.
He also has a Madden cover.
He does have a Madden cover, yes. He led the league in yards rushing 3 times. He led the league in rushing touchdowns twice. He led the league in yards a game 4 times. So, yes, he was pretty good back. Not that plays a huge role in this, but yeah.
Yeah.
And he played 10 years in Minnesota. So, and his MVP and all of his All-Pros and Pro Bowls all came in Minnesota.
Okay.
So,
good deal.
So, Uncle Doug, you got something for us?
I do. Adam Thielen.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
Yes,
Thielen.
Adam Thielen. I also have Adam Thielen. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, he's still playing. Kind of disappeared when he went to Carolina, but
Everybody does
I
that.
was going to say that happens a lot.
Yeah.
9 years in Minnesota. And in that 9 years, he had 534 receptions for 66, almost 6,700 yards, 12.5 yards per catch, 55 touchdowns. Let's see, he's got 2 Pro Bowls. Again, 6'2", 195, great hands. He's a nice compliment to the other speed guys.
Yeah, he's another very good possession receiver.
So when you got Carter and Jefferson flying down or Moss and Jefferson flying down the field, and Thielen and Carter, quarterback's going to have a pretty easy job.
All right, well. Did you have him too, Ray, or no?
No, I probably should add, but I don't know what I was thinking. Because I always liked Thielen when he was playing for Vikings. He was always like one of them solid tight end kind of players.
Yeah.
I forget who New Orleans had with Breezer for a while, like a Jordy Nelson type of player. That's kind of how I kind of thought of Thielen. So how many players everybody got left?
Have one.
Have one. I've got 2.
Yeah, I've got 2.
Okay.
I think that's right. I got Tarkenton, Moss, Carter, Jefferson, Peterson, and Thielen. Yeah, so
Okay.
I got one more. Maybe get 7.
All right.
All right, well, we're at Ray, right?
Yep.
So who you got, sir?
All right. I went with Dalvin Cook.
That's a good pick. I don't have Dalvin Cook, but that's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
Kind of forgot about old Dalvin.
I know.
Yeah.
He is a 4-time Pro Bowler, which kind of surprised me. Kind of those silent Pro Bowler guys. 6 years in Minnesota. He raked up just a shade under 6,000 yards, 47 touchdowns. His longest touchdown run was 81 yards. 4.7 yards a carry, it looks like. And he started 72 out of 73 games.
He also caught 221 balls for about 1,800 yards and 5 touchdowns during that time. His 8 years in Minnesota, I mean.
Yeah. At least he didn't have cinder blocks like the other one.
All right. Uncle Doug, you didn't have Dalvin Cook either?
Nope.
All right. Well, since you got 2 players left, Uncle Doug, why don't you go ahead and name one of yours?
Okay. Well, I have a tight end.
Okay.
Steve Jordan.
I have him.
Well, I went back and forth between he and Kyle Rudolph because that's kind of
Kyle
the
Rudolph.
2
Yeah.
great tight ends. Rudolph had 482 receptions. Jordan had 498. Rudolph had 4,700 yards, but Steve Jordan had 6,300 yards. Rudolph was 9.9 yards per reception. Rudolph was 12.7, which is pretty good for a tight end.
Yeah.
Now, Rudolph had a bunch more touchdowns. He had 50 to only 28 for Jordan. And Steve Jordan also had 6 Pro Bowls. So he
When did Jordan play? What?
from 82 to 94.
Okay.
Spent 13 years all with the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
So always kind of liked him, and I like Kyle Rudolph too. I kind of like having a tight end on these things.
Right. Yeah.
I went tight end instead of running back.
Fair enough. All right, Ray, what do you got? You got one more, right?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got old Stephon Diggs.
There you go. There's my
Ooh,
last one.
I forgot about Stephon. Ooh, yeah, I might have to rethink this.
They're just so crazy wide receiver heavy. It's ridiculous, really.
Yeah, they do have a lot of great receivers. This receiving core will stand up with anybody's.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Big bad whiny Stephon Diggs. 4-time Pro Bowler. 1 All-Pro. 5 years in Minnesota. Started 63 out of 70. Targeted 534. Received 365 for 4,623 yards. 12.7 yards a catch and 30 touchdowns.
I think the biggest problem you're going to have on this team is no matter what you do as the quarterback, you're going to have receivers screaming at you.
Oh, yeah. They all want the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. No. All right. Well, you got one more left, Uncle Doug,
One
right?
more left.
All right. Who you got?
Anthony Carter.
Anthony Carter.
He played from 85 to 95. 9 of those years he played for Minnesota. 478 catches for 7,600 yards. He averaged 16 yards a catch and had 52 touchdowns. 3 Pro Bowls, all with Minnesota. Came out of Michigan. I remember watching him play in college. I always really enjoyed Anthony. He was pretty quick.
Okay.
And wasn't the biggest guy. 5'11", 168.
And he was a receiver?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So,
One of them small Wes Welker kind of guys, huh?
yeah. So, yep, I went with Anthony.
All right. Well, that's 11 guys.
Yeah, we got 11 guys. We only got, what, 3 in?
3 in. Yeah, all 3. We got 3 receivers in.
Moss,
that
Carter,
makes sense.
Jeff.
They got a lot of good ones.
Moss, Carter, and Jefferson are in. And then we got a bunch more to look at here.
Okay.
But I'm going to do something real quick.
Okay.
I'll come off Adrian Peterson and go to Dalvin Cook.
Oh, okay.
I like your Cook pick.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger's that. Okay.
Did you have Peterson as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's still up there. I thought I was by myself on that one.
Well, I'll come off Anthony Carter and go to Dalvin Cook.
All
We'll
right.
get Cook in because I
Wow.
like Cook too.
All right. All right.
Wow. I tell you what, I didn't see that coming when I wrote this on my paper. I thought, God dang, I'm gonna be a quarterback and 6 receivers. But I like this. Yeah, okay.
Well, you want to go back up to the top and help us out with the quarterback?
Yeah,
there, Ray?
most definitely. Yeah. So Fran Tarkenton is in. And Dalvin Cook.
We got 5 in. We got 2 more to go, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got to pick between Adrian Peterson, Adam Thielen, Jordan. Steve Jordan and Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ray.
All right.
If you'll come from Peterson to Thielen, I'll go from Jordan to Diggs.
Bingo.
Well, we just made quick work of that, gentlemen. So that would make our 7-on-7 offense for the Minnesota Vikings: Fran Tarkenton, Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, and Stephon Diggs.
Oh my
This
God!
is, and we left an MVP. Listeners, we left an MVP off this list. That's how crazy this is right now.
That is true. That's true.
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty impressive receiving core.
It is.
Yep. You see this game on your schedule, and you're waking up, and you're like, "Fuck! Somebody
Yeah.
just pissed in my Cheerios."
You can't have enough cornerbacks to
No.
stop these guys.
Mm-mm.
That's the thing, because you better not be safety heavy,
Mm-mm.
because safeties aren't going to do it against most of these guys.
Yeah, you can stick a safety on Cook, but other than that,
Yeah.
you need corners.
Yeah,
Moss is
you do.
big. Jefferson's big. Thielen's big.
I mean,
all except for Diggs, they're all big.
yeah. And I mean, Carter and Thielen are more possession receivers, but you just can't cover them with the safeties.
Yeah, they're still like 6'3" and like
Yeah.
like 200 pounds. I mean, I think Carter's like 220.
So
big
yeah,
guys.
This is going to be a tough offense.
Very much is. All right, guys. Well, should we switch over to defense?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, Uncle Doug, who do you have as your first defensive player?
My first defensive player is Paul Krause.
I also
Oh,
have Paul Krause.
Indeed. That makes 3.
Yeah, he was in our all-time list, I believe.
I believe he's the all-time leader in interceptions.
I believe he is, yes. And there we go. Yeah, 81 interceptions for his career. Over 226 games. He started with Washington, had about 4 years with them, and then 12 years with Minnesota. And 81 interceptions. He had years 12 was his very first year in the league, and he led the league in interceptions. That's when he was with Washington. His best year with Minnesota, he had 10. And with that 10, only 14 games. So he had 19 fumble recoveries, 3 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions for touchdowns.
3 fumble recoveries for touchdowns.
So just a solid safety. Most of the time he played free safety. It's like he did have a year of strong safety in there, but mostly free safety. And just kind of a ball hawk.
Fair enough.
But 6'3", 200 pounds, he wasn't a little guy.
No, not at all. All right. Ray, you got another defensive player for us?
I do. I
Okay.
went with the oldie, Bobby Bryant.
Yep, I have Bobby Bryant as well.
So do I.
Okay.
Back-to-back unanimous, gentlemen.
Sweet. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He does have the rare commodity of NFL championship. All 13 years in Minnesota. Let's see, 51 interceptions. 3 interceptions for touchdowns. Fumble recoveries 14. Fumble recovery for touchdown 1. And yeah. So the fumble category is at 13 he's picked up. Is that what that means?
I think that's forced fumbles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, FF is forced fumbles and FR is fumble recovery.
Okay.
He's also a corner. I don't know if we said that.
That's what I got him down at.
Yep,
The cornerback.
yeah, that's a corner.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else to add on old Bobby Bryant?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I got another corner here, gentlemen. I got Xavier Rhodes.
I do too.
Xavier Rhodes. I don't have him.
Well, that's because you weren't thinking correctly, Ray.
That's right. You know, a bunch of mush up here, like soggy frosted flakes.
Xavier Rhodes was a shutdown corner for a few years in Minnesota when I was younger, and but he played, modern football 2013 to 2022 actually. He played 7 years in Minnesota, his first 7 years in the league, where he had 10 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, and no, he didn't have any fumble recoveries in Minnesota, actually. But he was a 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. He came in 4th in Defensive Player of the Year 1 year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought we needed corners. He was a pretty good one for a little while, and for the Vikings, so I put him on there.
Sweet.
Yep. All right, I think we're back to Uncle Doug.
Yep, and I added another corner. I was looking at all those receivers and figured we needed him. Antoine Winfield.
I also have Antoine Winfield.
Make that a 3.
All right. Yeah. Played from 99 to 2012. Started off in Buffalo, finished up in Minnesota, spent 9 years in Minnesota. During that time, he had, let's see here, sorry.
21 interceptions.
Yep, 21 interceptions, 2 return for touchdowns. He had 11 forced fumbles and 9 fumble recoveries, and a couple fumble recoveries for touchdown. He also 3 Pro Bowls during his time there.
He also had 6.5 sacks from the corner position.
Good for a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. He must have
So-
seen it coming a mile away.
All right. Well, Ray, you got another guy for us?
I do. His name is Joey Browner.
I have Joey as well.
Me too.
Sweet. Another trifecta. We need to go hit the horse tracks.
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
All right. 6-time Pro Bowler, 3 All-Pro, the All-80s team. Let's see. 9 years in Minnesota. He had 1 year in Tampa. 37 interceptions, 3 interceptions for touchdown. 17 fumble recoveries, and 1 fumble recovery for touchdown with 9.5 sacks. Not too shabby.
Yes. All right. Well, you got nothing. You good there, Ray?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's back around to me, and I have a defensive back, but it's not a corner. I have Harrison Smith.
I do too.
I do not.
Harrison Smith's been one of the best safeties in football for quite some time. I actually just read an article the other day that was making his Hall of Fame case, and I thought it was kind of funny when I started reading it. But by the end of it, I was kind of convinced this guy might be Hall of Fame worthy. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, and he has a couple All Pros. He has played 13 years, all in Minnesota. He has 36 interceptions, 4 return for touchdown. He has 9 fumble recoveries, none return for touchdowns. He has 20 sacks
Oh,
out of the safety position. He also has over 1,100 tackles.
Damn.
I was actually looking at this in that article. I can't remember the exact numbers, so I might be a little off on this, but just bear with me. He was like one of 3 players all time to have 1,100 tackles, or I think it was 1,000 tackles, 20 sacks, and 30 interceptions. He's like one of 3 players all time to have that combination of numbers. And he's still playing, adding to those numbers. So, yeah, Harrison Smith, safety. Oh, shit, keep hitting my mic with my headphones. So, Uncle Doug.
Yep, this is my last one.
Oh, wow.
I have another corner. I went back in the day a little bit. Nate Wright.
Okay. I got him as well.
All right. Played from '69 through 1980. Played for Atlanta and St. Louis a couple years each. And then he finished the last 10 years of his career with Minnesota. Minnesota, he had 31 interceptions, no TDs, 1 fumble, 4 recoveries, 1 touchdown, fumble recovery for touchdown. The most famous thing you'll probably ever see about Nate Wright is he's the corner that Drew Pearson pushed down to catch the Hail Mary pass.
Oh.
This is the guy. He was a great corner. That's why Pearson had to push him down because he was right there. And I'll always say it was pass interference, but that's all right. Offensive pass interference, by the way. But yeah, this is the corner that was guarding Pearson on that Hail Mary.
Okay.
So, and that wraps up my list.
Okay.
Well, Ray, I think we're back to you, buddy.
Yeah, I got 2 left. Carl Lee's my next one.
I looked at him.
Yeah, I don't have him either.
Okay. Carl Lee spent 11 years in Minnesota with a mild stint in New Orleans. 3-time Pro Bowler, 1 All-Pro. 29 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns. 6 fumble recoveries. Yeah, that's about all the stats on him.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're back around to me, and I have none other than Matt Blair,
Oh.
the very versatile running back, linebacker, who was what I wasn't sure I was going to put a linebacker on here, but I read an article talking about how he was remarkably good in pass coverage, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it. So I was running out of DBs.
Okay.
So I went with old Matt Blair. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler. He's got a first team All Pro on his list here. He has 16 interceptions, 20 fumble recoveries, 1 return for a touchdown. He's got 23 sacks in his career, and of course he doesn't have tackles. But he played from 74 to 85.
Okay.
Very athletic linebacker. He's also 6'5". 6'5", 232. What they have him listed at. So, yeah. All right, well, I'm done.
All right. Well, I got one left. His nickname is Bozo. Ed Shirachman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
He's got 1 NFL championship. Another oldie but goodie. 12 years in Minnesota. 40 interceptions. 3 interceptions for touchdown. 9 fumble recoveries. 1 fumble recovery for touchdown. And 2 sacks. Because they don't tell you tackles. 61 to 72. Ed Shirachman.
All right, well.
Yeah.
So we got, what, 10 guys up there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep.
Yep. And 4 are in.
Yes. Kraus, Bryant, Winfield, and Browner are all in. Rhodes has 2, Smith has 2, Wright has 2, and then we've got some 1s.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
I'm on 2 of the 2s. The only 2 I don't have is Nate Wright.
I think I'm on all 3 of the 2s.
I'm on Nate Wright, and I don't think. Nope, I don't have that one.
I think that's it because you got 2 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah, was Nate Wright a DB?
Yeah. Yeah, Nate Wright's a cornerback.
All right, I'll come off Blair and go to Nate Wright. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Well, you ain't gonna catch me holding up this fucking line. So.
Give both your 1s?
Yeah.
All right. So that would make our 7-on-7 defense for the Vikings. Paul Kraus, Bobby Bryant, Xavier Rhodes, Antoine Winfield, Joey Browner, Harrison Smith, Nate Wright, and that's it. Sorry, that's it.
Yeah. 4 corners and 3 safeties.
Yeah.
So that ought to work.
Yeah, I don't know if they could stop their offense, but they.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's enough corners to stop that offense. I just don't think they're there.
They can try.
Do you think there will be a team that has enough corners to play this team?
Oh, I don't know. That's going to be tough.
I don't think so. But we got a ways to go. We'll find out.
That's true. All right. Well, that will end our Vikings talk for this episode and move us into MVP discussion, which will lead us into none other than the 2012 MVP, which was won by none other than who, Ray?
The guy we left off the list, Adrian Peterson.
Yes, you are correct, sir. Adrian Peterson, all day, baby. And
Who was his quarterback?
I don't know, a bunch of bums.
Joe Johnson.
Um,
John Smith.
There's only 2 guys receive votes this year: Adrian Peterson and Peyton Manning.
Oh, okay.
Wow. It's probably a good thing Wade's not here.
Yeah.
That's all right. There's another Colts fan here.
Yeah.
We'll dig into that shortly.
Well, in fairness, he was a Bronco this year.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But Adrian Peterson ran for almost 2,100 yards this year, 2,097 yards, and 12 touchdowns. He also
How many TDs?
12.
12.
He also had 217 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. And then Peyton Manning, who came in second, threw for 4,600 yards and 37 touchdowns with 11 interceptions, and had 6 yards rushing.
On 23 attempts.
I'm assuming there's some kneel downs or
Yeah.
something.
Gotta be.
Do they count kneel downs as a rushing attempt? They do.
I think so, yeah.
They do
think they
because it
do.
counts in fantasy because you get -1 yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peterson only had 12 touchdowns in the MVP season?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be kind of low. Especially being like probably the only guy doing anything in Minnesota that year.
Well, then I looked at Offensive Player of the Year because there's other guys down here that had good years. Tom Brady threw for 4,800 yards and 34 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and he also rushed for a whopping 32 yards.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson had 1,964 receiving yards on 122 receptions, but only 5 TDs.
See, that's weird.
And then last but certainly not least, old Aaron Rodgers threw for 4,300 yards and 39 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, but he ran for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But Peterson was also Offensive Player of the Year.
He was.
So he was both?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you guys.
I don't know about
I'm pretty
this.
confident in my pick. I think Adrian Peterson's the MVP.
Yeah, I do too.
Not only that, but you got to think about this. Adrian Peterson took this team to the playoffs.
What was their record?
I think it was like 9-7 or something. I'll look. It was 10-6. And there's nobody on this team. Christian Ponder was their starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Christian
I
Ponder.
remember Christian Ponder. He played for Florida State.
Yeah.
He threw for 2,900 yards and 18 touchdowns and 12 picks.
Okay.
Yeah, 2,900 yards, guys. This is not 1960.
Yeah.
Like, this is 2012.
So only 900 yards more than Peterson ran for.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many fumbles did Peterson have?
That's a good question.
I do not see it on here.
I will have to click on him and find out. It's probably a lot. Peterson had a fumbling problem. Fumbles in 2012, he had 4. Also, not that many.
No, that's not bad.
Okay. So cinder block hands came through.
How far off of Dickerson's record was he? What's Dickerson's record? Do you know off the top of your head? I thought it was like 21 something.
Yeah, I think it is 21 something because they think that they may get broke this year.
Saquon, yeah.
Yeah.
Saquon's on pace to break it, and what's his name from the Titans? All-purpose yards. Not all-purpose yards, like yards from scrimmage.
Right.
What are you talking about? The little, real fast guy who used to play for Tennessee.
Oh,
Johnson.
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Now which running back was it? Was it Barry that didn't want to pass Dickerson's record?
Barry didn't want to pass up. I don't think he wanted to pass up Walter.
Oh, Walter. Yeah, that's okay, Walter.
Yeah, he didn't want to pass the Walter on the all-time list, yeah.
Yeah, that's called it quits when he did.
Okay.
But then Emmett went out and did it anyway. So.
Yeah. So he should have gone ahead and done it.
Yeah. But we know who the legit running back is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a star in the helmet.
All right. Well, Ray, do you have a vote here? I think Uncle Doug and I made up our mind
I
pretty
mean,
quick.
I guess I'll have to go with Peterson because the other quarterbacks, that's kind of the mid norm for them. But I look at them touchdowns, it's like, I mean, the yards are impressive, but that's all he scored was 12 touchdowns.
That does seem kind of.
Like they're throwing it on your back, and
Well,
you got 12 touchdowns.
I wonder if, was their defense really good? Because Christian Ponder wasn't throwing for touchdowns either.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
only threw 18.
Yeah.
Defensive player of the year was J.J. Watt, and number 2 was Von Miller. This was Manning's comeback player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And Adrian Peterson was second in that, behind Manning.
Yeah, because he did this coming off ACL surgery.
Right, yeah, that's when
He
he
came back in
ACL.
9 months
Yeah.
and ran for 2,000 yards.
Okay.
That's insane, guys. Insane.
Let's see. Offensive rookie of the year was RG3. Andrew Luck was second, Colts.
Okay.
Defensive rookie of the year was Luke Kuechly, the Panthers.
Well, I'm gonna go out on and say that I think their defense was good. I don't have defensive rankings pulled up.
Well, what's their game by game scores?
Hold on just a second though. I'm just
Okay.
gonna read you some names. First off, Jared Allen is playing. This is Jared Allen's heyday. Okay, so
Hold on, Drew.
he has 12 sacks this season. Go along with like 50 tackles, 17 tackles for loss. Really nice season from Jared Allen. And then Chad Greenway has 150 tackles. What's up, Drufus? Harrison Smith is there playing.
Oh,
He has a couple 3 interceptions and 104 tackles from the safety spot. They have 5 guys with over 100 tackles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty solid D.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anyway, Drew just walked in, everybody. Right here at the end of our episode.
Yeah.
So
he just
Drew,
wanted to make an appearance on the Vikings.
Drew, how many of our 7-on-7 guys did you have on your list?
Yeah, take a look. Take a deep look.
Is your mic on?
Turn that shit on, Drew.
That's on me, guys.
There you go.
I didn't do my mic check. They forgot me.
Yeah, we did that an hour ago.
No, yeah, I had Fran. Thought about him or Kirk Cousins.
Oh, my
Ray had
God.
Dante.
Yeah.
Oh no, not Dante. Yeah, I have Randy and Chris and Justin, Thielen, Diggs. I had Adrian Peterson instead
So did I.
of Dalvin Cook, but I agree with all the receivers. Let me see. Of course, my boy Paul Krause.
That's right. He was unanimous.
Better be. Who didn't put Harrison Smith up there?
I think Drew,
I didn't.
or not Drew. Sorry, Ray. Yeah.
You didn't?
Uh-uh.
I thought he'd be unanimous. Oh.
Well, he's up there now.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
He made it. Yeah, did you have Rhodes?
No, I didn't have
No.
Rhodes.
Then I tell you, like I told Ray, that's because you weren't thinking.
Oh, okay. No, but yeah, the defense is pretty similar too. So, I think I had 6 and 6. I think. I'm trying to think who my other one was besides Rhodes.
Uh,
I can't remember.
See, we had Carl Lee mentioned, Ed,
Sharrockman.
yeah,
And Matt Blair.
and Matt Blair were the other guys that were talked about.
No. Who was it? I can't remember now. Who's the MVP we're talking about? Have you guys got that?
Adrian.
Adrian Peterson.
Oh, and all three
His
of us.
2,000-yard season
Oh, well.
coming off his ACL injury.
Well. We all three. I think we all three did.
Yeah.
We did. Did you say you keep it too?
Yeah, because the quarterbacks are just kind of high mid, you know.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our Minnesota Vikings episode. 2 minutes after Drew got here.
I made it.
And thanks for tuning in for this Minnesota Vikings episode. And we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our Detroit Lions episode. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.